All right, and today's gospel reading will be from John chapter 15, verses 17 through 27, and also chapter 16, verses 1 through 4. I'll be doing the explanation according to the Blessed Theophylact, who is an archbishop from the Ohrid region of Bulgaria from the 11th century. All right, 17 through 19. These things I command you, that ye love one another. If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. If ye were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of this world, but I have chosen you out of this world, therefore the world hateth you. In the explanation, the Lord told his disciples that he had chosen them and would lay down his life for them. Lest they misinterpret this as a reproach, he now explains, these things I command you, and not to rebuke you, nor to boast in my accomplishments, but to make your souls firmer. I want to instill in you love for one another. This is why I have recounted my deeds of love for you. Because hatred and persecution are hard to bear and cause bitter grief, Christ reassures the disciples, it is nothing extraordinary that they hate you. They hated me first. Console yourselves with the thought that we are united, enduring the same hatred. Then he consoles them further amid these hard realities. You would have much more reason to grieve if the world, meaning evil men, did not hate you, for that would indicate you shared in their wickedness. Rejoice, I say, that evil men hate you. They do so because of your virtue. If you loved vice, the world would love you because you belong to it. I have chosen you out of wickedness of the world, and for this reason the world hateth you. You do not share in its works. Verses 20 to 21. Remember this, the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours as also. But also these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me. In the explanation here, continuing to bolster the disciples' spirits, Jesus now expands on the theme that the world hated me before it hated you. Remember my word, he urges them. The servant is not greater than his Lord. Neither are you greater than I. You see how they persecute me, the master. How much more will they persecute you, his servants? If they had not persecuted me, but kept my saying, they would keep yours also. But they have not kept my saying, so they will not keep yours. But all these things will they do unto you for my sake. If you claim to love me, accept your sufferings for my sake. Know this also, and derive further consolation from it. They insult not only you and me, they insult him that sent me. They are not only your enemies and mine, but my Father's as well. Verses 22 to 25. If I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin, but now they have no cloak for their sin. He that hateth me hateth my Father also. If I had not done among them the works which none other man did, they had not had sin. But now have they both seen and hated both me and my Father. But this cometh to pass, that the word might be fulfilled, that it is written in their law, they hated me without a cause. And the explanation here, the Lord asks, do the Jews act rightly in hating me and my Father and you? Nothing I said or did justifies them. I came and taught them. Had I not done so, they could have said, we knew no better. But now they have no excuse for their malice and sin. The Jews justify their vilification of Christ by pretending to champion and defend the Father. This man is not of God, they maintain. This is why the Lord stresses, he that hateth me hateth my Father also. I not only taught the Jews, I performed deeds such as no other man has ever done. Among my countless miracles, I gave sight to the man born blind and raised Lazarus from the dead. What excuse can they give? Moses taught the people to obey the man who works wonders and teaches piously. Now have they seen my works, nonetheless they have hated both me and my Father. Then Christ produces David as his witness. They hated me without a cause. It is written, malice alone gave rise to their hatred. As we have frequently pointed out, when Jesus refers to law, he means the book of the prophets, the Psalms of David, and the law of Moses. Inspired by the Holy Spirit, David had foretold that the Jews' malice wouldn't be directed against Christ. Now the truth of David's prophecy is made manifest by the Jews' wickedness. Verses 26-27. But when the Comforter is come, whom will I send unto you from the Father, even the Spirit of truth, who proceedeth from the Father? he shall testify of me, and ye shall also bear witness, because ye have been with me from the beginning. And the explanation here, the Lord had told the disciples, the Jews will not keep your saying, but will persecute you. This stirred up many fears. Why are you sending us, Lord? Who will believe us? Who will lead us? To quell them, the Lord declares, when the Comforter is come, he shall testify of me. His testimony is trustworthy. Once the Spirit has convicted the Jews and they understand that they have no excuse for their sin, they will accept the preaching. And ye also shall bear witness, because ye have been with me from the beginning, that my words and deeds have deprived them of any excuse for their sinful words and deeds. So take heart. What you preach will be substantiated and confirmed. Together with you, the Spirit will work signs and wonders that provide unimpeachable testimony, for he is the Spirit of truth. Being truth, his witness must be true, and proceeding from the Father, the source of all knowledge, the Spirit has absolute knowledge of all things. Christ's words, whom I will send, demonstrate the equality of the Father and the Son. In another place, Jesus said the Father sends the Spirit. In John 14:26. Here he declares that he himself sends the Spirit, but he adds, forestalling any suggestion that he is a rival to the Father. I send the Spirit, but I send him from the Father. That is in accordance with the good will and pleasure of the Father. The Spirit is sent by me in conjunction with the Father. I do not send out the Spirit from myself. The Spirit is bestowed from the bosom of the Father through me. When you hear that the Spirit proceedeth, do not understand this to mean that he has been dispatched on a mission, as are the ministering spirits, the angels who are sent out to perform various tasks. There are innumerable spirits sent forth to minister for them who shall be heirs of salvation. But here the Lord declares the procession of the unique and distinguishing characteristic that defines and sets apart the one true Spirit. Therefore, the procession of the Spirit is intrinsic to his very nature and existence, and we must interpret proceedeth to mean that the divine nature and existence of the Holy Spirit is from the Father. If the Spirit's procession is not understood thusly, then it would be unclear what Spirit the Lord is talking about here. Moreover, this is the Spirit who shall testify to Christ's preaching. And ye shall also bear witness, because you were with me from the beginning, and did not hear this preaching secondhand. The apostles themselves would later boldly declare to the assembly the importance of such testimony, as given unto witness, but chosen before of God, even unto us, who did eat and drink with him. Therefore, the Lord explains the testimony is twofold, from you and from the Holy Spirit. The Jews may allege that you testify only to flatter me, but the Spirit can never be accused of such of a motive. And in chapter 16, verses 1 through 4, these things I have spoken unto you, that ye should not be offended. They shall put you out of the synagogues. Yea, the time cometh, that whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth God's service. And these things they will do unto you, because they have not known the Father nor me. But these things I have told you, that when the time shall come, ye may remember that I told you of them. And the explanation here, these things I have spoken unto you before they occur, the Lord explains, so that later you should not be offended when you encounter ridicule and undergo fierce persecution. Then, when you will recall that I foretold everything to you, and the realization that my predictions have come to pass will comfort you. And they shall put you out of the synagogues, their councils and assemblies. They will banish you altogether from their company. For the Jews had agreed already that if any man did confess that he was Christ, he should be put out of the synagogues. Regarding you to be corrupters of piety and enemies of God, they will put you to death as malefactors. Because they believe that destroying you is a God-pleasing deed, your executioners will apply themselves zealously to the task, thinking they do God service. Then Christ explains how they will be consoled. These things they do unto you, because they have not known the Father nor me. That it is say, you will suffer all this for the sake of me and my Father. Therefore patiently endure sufferings. Remember that blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake, as was said on the Sermon on the Mount. Let this blessing console you. These terrible things have I told you beforehand, that so that when they come to pass you will believe my promise of hope. Moreover, I did not wish it to be said that I only predicted what is pleasant in order to mislead you. Rather, I have foretold you everything, so that you will be prepared to face sorrows courageously.